Hey guys, I'm Lee from Lee Likes Music, the place to share, explore, and learn about rock music from Bandcamp. And today we're going to take a look at Flicker Rate's newest album, which is called Reframe. So that's coming up. So Flicker Rate is a solo project by Spencer Bassett. He is a 17-year-old guy from Ireland, and he has basically created this project, which is called Flicker Rate. He is recording all of the instruments. It's an instrumental project as of now, and it is basically a project, a band that produces the sound of post-rock and math rock. Reframe is basically an EP. It was released on the 10th of March. And this is the second EP that Spencer is releasing under the name Flicker Rate. And I have to say that there actually is some really good material on this EP. It contains 4 songs with a total runtime of 17 minutes. Now, the first song is called Reframe. It is basically titled after the album. It starts with drums and bass during the first passage of the song, and then after some time it jumps into this guitar layer, which is very mesmerizing. It's very enticing. As the song progresses, there are more guitars coming in, kind of layering on top of each other, and they're creating this very nice harmony. The drums become more intense, and it all builds up to this big climax until 2 minutes and 15 seconds into the song, when the drive suddenly drops and it falls back on something a little bit more calmer. I feel like if this song had actually lasted for a longer time, it would have actually been a very repetitive song. It would be quite boring, to be honest, because it's a very simplistic song. It's basically a build-up and then a breakdown, and then that is it, kind of. But it's a very short song, and I think that is what really suits it. That is what fits best, and yeah, I liked it because of that. You know, this song is kind of celebrating what post-rock is all about. It's about, building up this instrumental dynamic piece and then falling back onto something calmer again, and it does this in a very simplistic way, and it's very beautiful because of that. Really nice, really enticing to listen to, and yeah, I'm gonna give this first track, Reframe, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. The second track is called Summit. It is very hard-hitting, it's rough, but it's also melodic. In the background you have these echoing and kind of lingering guitars, as you will find in many of the following songs as well on the EP. Honestly, I think there was a big contrast between the first and this track, and I don't know, I think the opening track, Reframe, was really good, but then this one comes in and it kind of brings the quality of the EP down quite drastically, actually. It is harsh and it's so abrasive, and it just creates this big gap between what we initially heard on the EP. It just completely takes us out of the moment that was originally created during that first opening track. It is still a very atmospheric and dreamy track, especially when the piano comes in at the last section of the song, but I don't know, it just didn't live up to my expectations. Summit is actually quite a long song. I think it's like 6 or 7 minutes, and it is very easy to mistake this song as 2 different songs, because in the middle of the song, it actually changes completely. And this drastic change happens at 3:35 into the song, and from that moment onwards it changes into something completely different. It is actually more similar, and it's turned around to the style of what we heard in the first song. It is a lot more calmer, it's steady, it's a melody and an instrumental pattern that is kind of building up in terms of the dynamics of the song. But what I want you to notice here is that there's no big climax here. There's just a short climb, and then there's a short ascension again. And I don't know, for me this was kind of weird to have this song set up in such a way. You have this first part which is very hard-hitting, very straight on, very riff-oriented. Then you have the second part which is more melodic oriented, creating more of a spacey, psychedelic, and more math inspired vibe. which is kind of building up and then slowly building down again in terms of dynamics. And I don't know, it just felt weird to listen to this. It's original, but it wasn't enticing. It was quite boring, actually, to listen to this. At the end of the day, I'm just sitting here with this feeling of listening to something that could have been something good, but it wasn't. It was incohesive. So yeah, I'm gonna give this one, Summit, a 5 out of 10. The third track on this record is called Spectrum, and it starts off in a very, very fast way. It's like immediately when you listen to the song, you're in it. The progression of the guitar, like 40 seconds into the song, I just love it, how the guitar is unfolding and how he is playing the guitar. Very inspirational. I also like the way he had layered these guitars. Such an awesome melody and such an amazing way of putting everything together. 1 minute and 30 seconds into the song, there's this short and brief break, and then it is kind of briefly building up again, adding one instrument after another, starting with the bass, then the guitars, and then the drums, and then kind of adding some versatility to the song by actually creating some dynamics and some interchangeability. Is that a word? Mixing up my words here, but there's at least some changing in terms of the instrumental lineup during the song, which makes it a little bit more interesting. The song, again, like the first track, is very simple. It just celebrates the simplicity of post-rock, and I love that. So Spectrum was actually a very good song. I think that this is a song that I'll put on again. So yeah, I'm gonna give this one a 7 out of 10. The fourth and the final track on this EP is called Airspace, and I just have to say that what caught me up while listening to the song was the mood. The mood is epic, it is striving, it is enticing. I was just so caught up in the way that he combined all of these moods that I almost forgot to write the review to this song. I was so caught up in listening to it. The drums sounds very eerie, but at the same time they're very intensive as well. There's a nice balance here. Now, at 2:20 into the song, it all kind of changes into a much more calmer and more silent passage. And again, like with the second song, which is called Summit, I feel like this was kind of a weird transition. And then, a minute later, it suddenly just builds up in power again all of a sudden with these crashing cymbals, this distorted and heavy guitar. I don't know, I just feel like this track again was not that cohesive. It, you know, there were really interesting parts about the song, but it didn't really have that much weight to it. For example, I like the mood of the song. I like the perpetuation of feelings, how the artist, how Spencer actually put his feelings into the song. That was quite interesting because it was a nice color palette of feelings. At least that's what I felt, that's what I got. But at the same time, it didn't feel like this song was put together in such a good way. So yeah, I can't really give it a good score because of that, so I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10. So yeah, Reframe was an amazing track, and the same with Spectrum. I really like those. Too bad that Summit and Airspace really didn't create that much of a value. If they were better, this would definitely make one of my favorite EPs of 2017, but that's how it is. So yeah, I'm gonna give this album by Flicker Rate, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. Go and check it out. It's very popular on Bandcamp right now. Maybe you like it more than I do. If you're interested in post-rock, math rock, instrumental rock music, then I highly suggest this because, I don't know, you might like it better than me. And if you do, let me know in the comments below, okay? Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you like to share, explore, and learn about rock music from Bandcamp, then I highly suggest you click the red subscribe button below because that is what my channel is all about, okay? Thank you again for watching, guys. Hope to see you later. Bye. From Bandcamp. And today we're going to take should be begin bring him my god because I kid and make it